Welcome to the 94th episode of the Meeple Society, a podcast about board games hosted by two longtime role players turned avid board gamers. My name is Katie.
I'm Greg.
On this episode, we wrap up our final thoughts on Gen Con 2025. Greg fills us in on some news from Roxley Games. We talk about some recently played games, and we wrap it up with a first look at the new Spirits of the Wild. But first, Greg has some sad news for us.
This just came in. I think it was like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, I got an email. This is from Ignacy.
Ignacy Chevicek from Portal Games, okay.
Yep. He says, this is Ignacy again, and this is a letter from Poland. Today is a little bit sentimental. Imperial Settlers is gone.
They sold off Imperial Settlers?
No.
No? They're no longer
printing it. He says, Let me explain. Yesterday, we sent out another bunch of orders to retail and distributions. At the end of the day, I looked into the stock levels and I found it. We have at least 22 copies of Imperial Settlers in the U.S. That's it. 22 copies.
That have not been sold.
Correct. Okay. We have no plans to reprint the game, although in my opinion, still freaking great. It is old and the market no longer cares. It's time to fade away. It makes me obviously sad, but it also makes me happy and proud. Imperial Settlers in 2014 was my first real smash hit. We couldn't catch up with reprint demands, and the game was on the front page of every board game website. It was something incredible. Over the following years, I have designed 6 expansions, hundreds of cards and combos, great spin-off games, and basically I was living my dream. Memories that will always be with me. The game has 25,000 ratings on BGG, 35,000 people declare it on BGG that they own it, and nearly 5,000 people have it on their wish list. For some time, the game was in the top 150 of BGG. Nowadays, it got pushed down by new releases to place 366.
Still not bad for an 11-year-old game.
No. The amount of love I got from Imperial Settlers was overwhelming. I got cute meeples, I got paintings, stuffed toys, cookies, and all kinds of gifts themed with Imperial Settlers. The ride ends. 22 copies left, and the story is over. It was a dream story, though I cannot explain how grateful I am for this adventure. Thank you, Ignacy.
It is a good one, and we do have all of the different factions, and we have all the little minor expansions. I think we have everything.
Have everything, including promos and all. And
yeah.
I don't know if we've ever upgraded that game at all, but
No, we've never. It's all the original pieces. I think the only thing we upgraded was we got an insert for it.
Yeah.
So that I could hold all of the factions in one box in the original box. That was the only thing I did.
Yep. So bye-bye, Imperial Settlers.
Oh. So they're just no longer supporting it and will no longer reprint it.
So
what's out there is out there.
They won't print it anymore. Yep. And like I said, there's 22 copies left in the United States. So if you haven't played the game.
One for every other state.
Correct.
Somewhere.
Something like that. But yeah, if you've never played this game, it's kind of like 51st Date. It's supposed to be.
Which we've never played.
No, we've never played 51st Date. We hear it's supposed to be like a 51st Date is post-apocalyptic.
We might have to play that one at the retreat. Just so we have a comparison.
Well, I almost picked it up. It was like $15 at the last yard sale that we went to at the game store up the street.
Well, see, that's just, I don't know that I need to own it if it's so much like Imperial Settlers.
Right.
But I would be curious to play it to see the similarities. So, okay, well, that is sad news. But, I mean, again, 11-year-old game. So...
But it's great that up until now it was still being supported and everything, and people were still getting it. But now, like he said, it's dying off with a lot of new games out there. There's new versions of this game, new spin-offs of this game.
Right. Interesting.
So the original goes bye-bye. Okay, so let's get... I'm going to skip down to the Roxley Games part.
Okay.
They had made an announcement. I don't know if you've seen it. This has been all over my feed on Facebook, on Twitter, on Blue Sky.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, so therefore I have no idea if I've seen it or not.
Roxley Games has a new brass coming out. It's going to Game Found in early 2026. It is Brass Pittsburgh. So it'll go along with Brass Birmingham and Brass Lancashire.
Interesting.
Now it's Brass Pittsburgh, which is a big steel city here.
And that was the first thing that I thought of is, of all U.S. cities, that's the one that makes sense. Interesting.
So Martin Wallace and Gavin Brown have got together and they've designed it. And like I said, it's being released in 2026. Let me see if it says exactly when. It's going to GameFound, though.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, that'll be
Well, it
something to
says
watch
in
out
early
for.
2026.
So probably
Brass Pittsburgh.
first or second quarter then. Okay.
Yep. And
Interesting.
the box cover is kind of it's that dark cover like the new brasses are with Birmingham and Lancashire.
I
It's
love
like really
that
cool.
artwork.
But yeah, the artwork looks great. So it'll be interesting to see what the game is like.
I don't
Next
know.
thing I want to bring back up the 100th episode coming up.
Okay.
I seen you actually have talked with. Well, you've messaged them.
I've
Mark
not
and
gotten
Jess.
a response.
If you've been here since the beginning, you remember Mark and Jessica. We're seeing if we can get them back for our 100th episode. Also, if you guys want to send us a message you want us to read on air about what you think about the podcast or anything about us, send it to meeplesociety@mail.com. It can be an audio clip. It can be just an email. And So Gen Con is over. It's been gone for what, about a week now? Or 2 weeks,
2
now?
weeks.
2 weeks.
Right? Yes,
Yeah.
2 weeks. It was 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago. This year it was like 71,000 people.
71,000 people this year
A
was
lot
the
of people.
final totals. Yes, that was a lot of people. I mean, overall, I think it was a good con.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we've ever recorded live down there, that we've set up to record live.
Yeah, and that one, it didn't go off as well as I planned because
no.
we were expecting some of the guests, and a lot of the questions I had was geared towards having guests.
Yes.
And we tried to pull it off through just the me and you, and we brought Justin in a couple times.
Yeah.
I think if we had the guests, it would have come off a little bit better. But the big thing about it is trying to find a place that was quiet enough
Right.
to record and not as much traffic for people just
Quiet, no
standing there
traffic, and not disturbing other people.
and do that in the middle of a big city
In
during
the middle of a con of
convention at
71,000
people.
It just, I feel like if either of us were a little more outgoing and put ourselves out there with strangers, we might have been able to pull it off. But neither, that's just not our personalities.
I'm one of those.
So-
I'm not the one that's going to push it, but if it happens, I go with it.
Well, yes, I agree there. But I'm not the one to make the first move.
Right. No,
and
no.
I feel like if either of us were that person, if either of us were my sister, we could have pulled it off easily. Because my sister is absolutely that person. Your sister is absolutely that person.
We needed our West Coast
Yeah, we did.
Roocher guy who was
too
supposed to
busy.
be on the show.
He was
We
busy.
even advertised that he was going to be there, but he never showed up.
Nope, he
we
did
needed
not.
him, and that would have been perfect. He would have pulled people in.
He would have, but that's all right. All in all, it was a good experience. I'm glad we did it. Will we do it again? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll do
We'd
it
be
to
a little bit
that
more
level.
organized.
Yeah, I don't think we'll do it to that extent.
Yeah, we may not go live with it.
Right.
We just record and then put it all together at the end.
Right, which is what we did anyway.
Yeah. Well, we still went live.
Well, yes.
Each day we were live.
Yes.
But we ended up putting it all together, and that was episode 93. If you guys was able to get through that one, because the audio wasn't
unfortunately
it wasn't
not.
what people expect now with our podcast. The audio part,
Right.
the sound.
Right.
So, do you have a list of the games we actually played?
Not with me.
Not with you. Well, I know we played Cover Your Assets, which I'm going to talk about later.
Yes. Well, actually, okay.
We played Citizens of the Spark, which is a new one that came out this year from
We did.
Thunderworks Games.
Okay. So, and I'm cheating kind of when I went to BGG because everything's been logged.
Mm-hmm.
We played Art Society.
Yes.
Which I actually
That
saw
was a
played
good
last
one.
night
Yep.
at Ladies' Night, which I did not get in on. They were playing when I got there. But so we did play Art Society, and I really liked that one.
Mhm.
I thought it was very interesting. In fact, Justin
Justin
picked that
picked
one
it
up.
up,
So we'll
so-
get to play that one again. We played Art Society. We took some games with us and just played them there in the mornings before everything started up. We played Pixies. We taught Justin Pixies, and Matt, it was funny. Root shirt guy came in while we were playing Pixies, really enjoyed it, ended up buying it.
Yeah.
Hadn't even played it yet, but went ahead and bought it. But then he sat down with Cover Your Assets with us, which you're going to talk about later, so we won't go into that. We played a couple games of Citizens of the Spark. We played one at the con and one at home. We did get in a demo of Ice and Idols.
And ended up buying the last copy of the con.
The very last copy. We got in a game of Guildlands, which we did purchase. It's signed by both designers. I've got a great picture of the two of them. So we bought that one. I have another one here that says Zero Down, but that's not the name of the one we have. We have Cat Ass Trophy. Catastrophe. However you want to say it. Zero Down is the newer version of that. We played Flip 7. Again, another game we just
got to meet the designer Flip 7 too.
We did. And oh my gosh, he is the most humble person I think I have ever met.
And very tall.
Very tall.
He's like Stefan Feld
nice.
tall.
Yes. Very, very nice guy. We did get in a demo of Nature. So I thought that was, I thought it was interesting, but at the same time, it was Extinction. Or Extinction? No, that's not the name of the game. Evolution.
Yes.
That's all it was Evolution slightly revisioned.
It was reskinned Evolution.
Yeah.
And they had the expansions just like Evolution because you could play with the dinosaurs or animals of today or what have you.
No, not a big difference there at all, I thought.
No.
And then we ended up with you and Justin got in a demo round of Soda Jerk.
Yes.
And this is something we wanted to pick up. It sold out the first day, though. They only had, I think, 350 copies. And it sold out very quick.
Chris said they only originally printed 500 copies. He sold 120 some odd copies at Dice Tower East. And then the rest sold out within the first couple days at Gen Con.
Easy. So we did get a chance to play it. All of the descriptions I'd heard was you get to be a jerk to your friends. And I thought, that means it's going to have a lot of take that in it. I want to support Chris because we know Chris Yee from the Dice Tower. Super sweet guy. I want to support him in this
he already
endeavor.
said we have to play games this year at the retreat.
At the same time, it's like, do I need another take that card game in our collection we're never going to play?
Yeah, and it really wasn't take that.
No, you guys got to demo it, and I just sat there and watched and took a couple pictures.
It reminded me a lot of the game that he really likes, Vegetable Stock. Yes. Of how you are, what is the word I'm trying to think? Influencing the market. Yeah. But this you're influencing the different stands, but you're trying to keep cards. You have cards in your hand, and you're playing them to the different soda stands.
To influence different things.
Yeah, and you could put pluses down or you could put minuses down. So what cards you have left in your hand are going to score based on what the cards are that everybody's laid at the different soda stands. And the game ends, or the round ends, when everybody is actually turned a card over at one of the soda stands.
To see what it is. Because a lot of the cards are played face down.
Yes, all the cards are played face down.
Okay, they were all down.
Until somebody flips it over. And then once all four people or however many people are playing turn one over, the round ends. Okay. And then you start a new round. And you keep score.
Interesting. Now, when you were describing that, do you remember the game Megastar?
Yes.
A little card game by Mayfair. Same concept. You're putting musicians down
to influence the cards
in your hand. And it's that same concept where you score based on where that musician ends up in the line.
Yeah.
But in order to move them, you have to play the card that you could score with if it was still in your hand, but it doesn't score anything if you don't move it.
Right.
It's that same concept. It's a very interesting. I just now made that connection. Okay. Anyway, that's all we really played. We did not actually play a lot.
No, because Gen Con is not a place. It's not really a place to go and play games.
And they're getting better.
Yes.
It is. There are a lot more places than there were 10 years ago.
JW opened a big hall last year. You can't go over to the mall right now because they are ripping the mall apart now because they're completely redoing it. Yeah. There was tables that you could find, but the best way to do about it, you could go to the headquarters.
I felt like this was new.
And it was.
I don't remember
apparently
this
it's
being
not,
last year.
Though.
Really?
I think they said they've been doing it for a couple of years now.
This is the first year I've ever seen a sign for it.
Yes, maybe that's what it is.
And the first time we've ever made use of it.
Yes. But you could go to the headquarters and ask, hey, are there any open tables that are not doing demos? And they can check their lists, and then they can assign you a table, and then nobody can go to that table
for a
but
specific amount of time.
Yeah, they ask you how long you want it.
You've got that table for that block of time.
Yeah, so they can't schedule anything there. Nobody can go there. So nobody can just sit down and say, hey, this is our table. We need this space. Like, no, go back and look.
They could try.
Yes.
But as long as it's already reserved.
Right.
Like we sat down we went up and asked about one. He said, well, I've got this table available till 2.
Right.
Perfect. We're only going to play a couple short games. We'll be out of there within a couple hours. No big deal. So, and they had, mind you, the headquarters are positioned. There's one over in the stadium and there's one in the demo hall of the convention center. So there was 2 separate ones. It actually worked out really nice. You don't just wander around wondering if tables are available.
Yeah. Now the first one though, I went to go check on because I had found a table. I was like, "Oh, there's nobody playing here. I'm going to sit down." And then called you guys over and was like, "I'm going to go check and make sure this is open."
Yeah.
Well, they signed us to another table, but that table was running a demo.
Right.
And they didn't have it on it. It was like the people running the demo opened up wider than they originally reserved.
Yeah.
I said, well, there's people there. We are sitting at such and such table. Nobody's there. Nobody's around. He goes, yeah, that one's open too, so go ahead. And he blocked us out for a few hours.
I thought that was ingenious. I love that. I feel like it prevents some like us sitting down to start a game.
Yeah, and then suddenly,
getting halfway through a 2-hour game and, oh, hey, we've got a demo scheduled here. You guys need to leave.
Right.
I hope they continue this practice and we'll definitely make use of it again. And maybe they've done it in the past, but this is the first time I've ever seen signs for it. And maybe I'm hoping that visibility will help with that. But to your point, you were saying this has not always been a let's sit down and game friendly convention.
It's a game. It's a convention to go and see new games being demoed that are soon to come out, or buy new games that just came out.
Right.
Because there is a lot of games that get released. This year, I don't feel like there was that many new, brand new releases that I knew about.
No, not very many.
But yeah, most people, they're just here for that dealer hall, and then you have your stuff you go do, your events you go do, but there's no real, like, Origins has a huge room you can go in and play games at. Geekway to the West has that huge room with hundreds of tables that you could just sit down and play games all day.
Right.
And they have a huge library.
Both of the Dice Towers are the same way. Both of the Dice Tower conventions are that way.
Yeah, and like Dice Tower conventions, you don't pay anything. You just give them ID. And you check out they scan your ID, they scan the game, and you go check it out. That way they know who has it.
Right.
And then you bring it back and they clear your name from it.
Right.
Gen Con, on the other hand, charges you money for like a 2 to 4 hour block.
Yeah. Well, it depends on where you go. Because if you go to the gaming library, it's like, I want to say it's like a 4 to 6 hour block, but I don't remember how much it was. It may have been.
Because I thought when we looked into it the one year, it was like, no, I'm not.
Well, I know.
You'll get maybe one gameplay.
Exactly. There's the hot games room, which I think is really good. It's a good idea.
But they charge to get in there too.
But again, they charge to get in.
Like
it's 2 hours.
2 hours?
2 hour blocks. You barely get a game started.
Yeah. And it's like.
And there's nobody to teach you the game, which means you have to figure out the game on your own. So you're not going to get the whole game played. That does not interest me.
I mean, if you really, really, really want to go in and see this really new hot game that everybody's talking about, okay. If it's the only place you can find it, okay. Best looking booth.
I have no idea.
I was just saying, none of the booths really struck me.
No,
like,
none of them
this
stood
looks
out
awesome.
to me.
Not like in past years, there's always those really cool looking ones.
Yeah. None of them really stood out to me.
I would say maybe. I can't even remember. I think it was the one where Elder Scrolls was at, the one that our friend Adil was working at.
Oh, that one looked,
That one looked kind of cool. It kind of reminded me of the Tiny Epic Gameland Games, the old booth. It used to be like a castle. But that's the only one that I think really stood out to me.
Oh.
There was no big fancy booths this year. I mean,
I don't recall seeing
nothing
unusual.
The Veers it was the exact same they had last year though, but it's kind of cool. They have the games over here, they're demoing, then they also have their digital games on screen where you could actually sit down and actually play the digital version of the games.
Okay.
So friends, we met back up with a few friends.
We did, and we do every year. Yep. We always see people.
Yeah, well, Jeff Knapp came into town. Of course, he was staying with us, so
we had no choice but to see him.
Yeah. Then we met back up with Root Shirt Guy again.
Yes, and with some of his friends that we had met last year at the retreat. So that was fun to see them again.
But we met up with Chris.
Yes.
I think his last name's Francisco. I'm sorry, Chris, if you're listening.
You keep talking. I can find out.
I looked at your badge to kind of get your last name so I could remember it, though. But I think that's what it is.
I have him down for last year's
Francisco?
Aquatica. So hold on. Chris Francesco.
Francesco. I was close.
You were close.
But yeah, he like you said, he sat down to a demo game of Aquatica with us
last year,
not knowing us. We didn't know him.
This was pre-scheduled.
Yes,
we had tickets for it. So did he.
And he finally realized how he recognized you.
Right.
You taught him root through your video.
Not root. I don't even know how to
Earth.
play root.
Earth, not root. We don't play root. Earth. He learned Earth by watching your rule teach of yours.
Teach videos I've ever done.
Yep.
That was solely by itself. We've never done a video for the game. It was just, here's a teach video of Earth because I wanted to do something like that. And it worked.
Yeah.
And that's how he learned Earth.
And so this year we ran into him as we were going into the Dice Tower Awards. And he sat down with us and hung out with us throughout the Dice Tower Awards and everything. Yeah. That was really cool. And then we ran into him like a day or two later, like on a Thursday, Friday. No, it was Saturday.
No, it was Saturday morning.
Jackie was there. Yes, it was Saturday morning.
Okay.
We were in line. And
no, it was the day you guys rushed the stage. No?
No, it was Saturday.
Okay. It was Saturday. All right.
It was Saturday.
Okay.
And we ran into him again, and he stayed there and talked to us until the doors opened.
Okay.
And then we all kind of went our own separate ways, though. But we never got to sit down and play a game with him.
No.
Because those were the only 2 times we actually seen him the whole time we were there. But with 71,000 people there, it's kind of hard to.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised we saw him that many times.
Yeah. But it's always cool to run into people that you've met before or know. And now Chris is part of that whole little, hey, we know you. We know you by your name. You know us by name. We know you by sight. So it's good to seeing you again, Chris, if you're listening. Hope to see you again next year. And maybe you can decide you want to come down to the retreat and we play all week. Why don't we start talking about some other games that we've actually played?
That's a good idea.
Well, we played the other ones, though, but let's talk about the games we've played lately.
Okay. I will start. Last night, as I've hinted at a couple times, it was Ladies' Night. This was the monthly board game event I go to with BGI, with Board Gaming Indie, where any number of the ladies in the group get together. The last couple months, we've been holding it at a church social hall because we've kind of outgrown most people's houses. Last night was our largest night yet. We had 42 people there, including our former co-host, Jessica. Hey. She came out and sat down for one game of Tea Garden. I did not play that one. I was already in a game of Unconscious Minds when she came in. So Miranda got up and helped her get into a game of Tea Garden. They were just getting ready to start, so she sat down and played Tea Garden with them. But games I played. So I got in 3 games last night. We're going to talk about 2 of them. First one I played was Unconscious Minds. Now, this is one we picked up about a month ago. Haven't played it yet. My goal was to learn the game enough that I could hopefully teach Greg when the time comes up. I don't know if I achieved that, but hopefully with the help of a video, I can at least get us over the hump on learning it. So before I get started, Unconscious Minds, published in 2024. Shush, she is laughing at me now because we all know how badly I suck at this. All right.
Read your notes in the middle of the page.
I saw that. I actually cracked up with that when I first saw it. Anyway, published in 2024 by Fantasia Games. Designed by Johnny Pack, Yoma, and Antonio Zax. Art by Andrew Bosley and Vincent Dutrait. I will give it that the art is gorgeous in this game. Mm-hmm. From the cover to the cards.
It's got Vincent Dutrait and Andrew Bosley.
Exactly. This plays 1 to 4 players in roughly, I gotta laugh at this, 60 to 120 minutes, ages 12 and up.
You text me about 4 hours into this game?
Carola, I think her name was Carola, was the teacher. By the time she finished setting up, it was probably about 6:30, which was fine. She started teaching. We finished the teach a good hour later. So we started playing about 7:30. I think I texted you shortly after 10 and said we were still playing. I think we finished up shortly thereafter. It was probably about 10:30 when we finished up.
Yeah, about 10:17. You said we are still playing.
Yeah, it was a 3-hour game. That being said, it was a brand new teach for both me and the other Katie. Mm-hmm. Miranda had played it a couple of times already. In fact, Carola had only played it twice and knew it well enough to teach it. So that was impressive. So some of the turns took a little while. I felt like the turns were very combo-y. You know, one thing triggers another. And I think that's where I went wrong is I don't feel like mine were doing a lot of triggering. So I thought I was doing okay. And at one point I was actually in the lead, but it didn't last long. But, I ended up losing quite substantially, but that's okay. It was a learning experience. The idea with this game is you are on par with Sigmund Freud, who is, it says here, an Austrian neurologist. Actually, let me just read this description. This might at least set the tone. In the early 1900s, the Austrian neurologist Sigmund Freud established a revolutionary theory called psychoanalysis, related to the study of the unconscious mind. As his work took hold, supporters met at Freud's apartment every Wednesday to discuss psychology and dream symbolism. This group, the Wednesday Psychological Society, marked the beginning of the worldwide psychoanalytic movement. Okay. As a member of this society, you aim to formulate new therapeutic techniques, establish a practice, grow your clientele, and become Freud's most distinguished contemporary. To best accomplish this, you'll need to share insights, discuss ideas with peers, and publish theories. That was my mistake. I never published. And to stay invigorated, you'll likely need some coffee. Lots of coffee. Okay, so this is a worker placement type of game. It's worker placement, it's engine building, you've got a rondelle you're moving around, actually a couple of rondelles you're moving around. You've got a worker on the board that moves around a rondelle to various city locations, district locations in the city, I should say. And you can do different actions. Different things trigger those actions, the actions on the board. The main piece of the game is done on a separate board with speech bubbles. There are, in a 4-player game anyway, there are 16 spots you can put speech bubbles down. You start the game with 3. Throughout play, you can unlock 3 more. You can use bright idea tokens to supplement your speech bubbles, if you wish, to basically give you a slightly better action. So on a main turn, you can put down 1 or 2 speech bubbles, depends on how often you can or wish to do the action you're pointing to. The speech bubble points to one. I want to say there was 9 different actions on the board.
You'll be correct.
And I'm totally going off memory here because I'm not looking at the board. So I'm totally going off memory here. So some of the different actions. Again, you could grab a tile from above you by paying 1, 2, or 3 coffees. There's 3 different actions that allow you to do that. Ultimately, you're filling your personal player board with these tiles. These tiles are what builds your engine. They allow you to do different things when your ink blotter moves around your board. The second row of actions, one of them lets you, and there's specific words for these. I do not remember what they are because they were all very unusual words, but you could upgrade one of your resources or you could transform one of your resources by moving it around. And I'm going to come back to the resource board. One of them, you could lay down a couple cards out of your hand. One of them, you could pick up cards, and these were newspaper articles. So you could pick up a newspaper article or you could play down a couple newspaper articles. This is where I fell down on the game because I did not grasp the importance of these until it was too late. You could publish a theory. Again, did not grasp the importance of this until it was way too late. You could move yourself around the district board, or you could move Freud around the district board. And when you do that, you do the actions of the district that you just landed on. If you have enough icons to do something substantial in those areas. The whole game bases on various icons that you are picking up off of the articles that you're laying down, the theories that I didn't publish, and the patients that you are helping. That is where all of your icons are coming from. Again, all I had was patience because I didn't see the importance of the other two soon enough.
They're there for a reason, lady.
Exactly. There is a action that just lets you get some resources, which is very important because that's how you cure your patients. That's how you treat them. I think that's all 9 of the actions. Not quite in all the same order, but that's all of them. So you're putting your speech bubbles down around the actions, pointing at one of them. You can never have 2 of them pointing to the same one. So you can't do the same action twice without pulling all your things back. When you pull all your speech bubbles off of it, 1, it clears up the board for other players and yourself. But 2, it allows you to do a board action. And now you get some bonuses off the district that you are in on the board. And those bonuses are maybe you get a bright idea token, which helps because those give you extra, they strengthen your actions. Or you get a free resource, or you get a free newspaper article, that type of thing. Meanwhile, there's also another part of your player board that is a rondel of resources. There's 3 different types of resources, 3 different layers to the resource. Those resources are specifically used to treat patients. So at the start of the game, you get 1 starter patient. And that's, I know, right? He's your test subject. So
he's not that mental.
Right. Each patient has a dream layer over the top of them. In order to partially cure them, you have to remove the dream layer. You do this by satisfying the requirements of the dream. So every time you take a patient, you're taking 2 different kinds of dreams. You're taking a surface dream and I know these are not the words they use in the game. I'm sorry, but this is the way I had to think about them. You're taking a surface dream. You're taking a deeper dream, a darker dream. You have to solve the first one first. So maybe the first dream requires a level 3 of the red. And I know there's names for all of them. Anyway, you need a level 3 of the red and 2 level 1s of the green. I think that's what my first one required. And if I did that, then I get to cure them by 3 hearts. Great. That removes the dream layer. It removes that weird overlay off of them.
The ink blot?
Yes. And allows you access to their ability. Well, my very first one said every time I pull back all of my speech bubbles, I not only got to do an action in the city I'm in, I got to do an action out of the city that Freud was in too. Because Freud's moving around the board also. So that was good. Didn't help me much, but it was good. So as you cure your patients, now mind you, as you're using these resources, you're putting you've got little pebbles basically, little clear pebbles.
Yeah.
You're putting those back into the center of this rondel. And then as you're gaining more resources, you're putting them back out. Again, there are ways to make your starter resources better by upgrading them. There are ways to take a level 1 green and turn it into a level 1 red by transforming them. So there's all different ways to maneuver things around. And I think that was where my main focus was. And like I said, I completely forgot about the papers. But lesson learned because I got slaughtered. All in all, it was a good game. I really enjoyed the play. I am really looking forward to digging into this with you, though.
So you can slaughter me?
Oh, yeah. No, that's probably not going to happen.
Oh,
it's an engine builder. It is absolutely an engine builder.
So there are some engine building games out there that I haven't figured out how to engine build.
This is true.
Like another game that I'm talking about here in a few, too.
That's true. This one may take a few plays for both of us to fully wrap our heads around. Miranda even said that, and Miranda, I know I've said her name half a dozen times now, is the person who kind of started and is in charge of the ladies' night for BGI. So she's one of the admins of the group. But she said this was her 3rd play, and it's finally starting to sink in for her. So all in all, I really enjoyed this. It is a table hog to be sure.
Yeah, it looks
absolutely a table hog. But man, it was a good game. I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to digging this one out and playing it again. Matter of fact, it probably would not hurt to maybe take it with us to the retreat.
I imagine it's there.
It probably is.
But we can play it back in the room.
That's true. So anyway, good game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely recommend it as a heavy, crunchy game. Once you got going, the actions weren't hard. There was just a lot of them. Anyway, that's my game, Unconscious Minds.
Okay. One of the games we played at Gen Con, we already talked about. We didn't talk about the game, though. This was Cover Your Assets. This is a 2 to 6 player by Brent Beck and Jeffrey Beck. Artist by David Bach, Andrew Bosley, Ann Potsky, and April Slot. Publisher by Grandpa Beck's Games. This is actually, I think, the first Grandpa Beck's Games we have. I
think it is. I know when I logged it, we didn't have any others.
This is a 20 to 40 minute game, ages 7 and up. This came out in 2011. So this is an older game. I didn't realize it was that old. But I am going to read the description off here because I know I'm going to do a poor job of trying to explain this game. But because I think I totally lost this game really badly. I think I was so far behind in this whole game that it wasn't even funny anymore. Can you find it?
Yeah, I found it. You and I were very close.
Were we?
Okay, so here's the scores. I had 210.
Mm-hmm.
You had 220.
Okay.
Justin had 225.
And
Matt had 565.
yeah, to say Matt just dominated us in this game.
Matt's a thief. That man is a thief.
I think he secretly has played this game more times than he let on.
He let on.
Anyway,
right?
so here's the description. It says the stakes are high in this high energy, competitive, and cutthroat set collecting card game from Grandpa Beck's Games. And cover your assets. Players compete to become the first millionaire by building towers of matching sets made from 10 different types of asset cards, things like jewels, piggy banks, classic autos, and more. Each new set that is created is stacked clockwise on top of the previous set, covering and protecting all the sets beneath it. The top set of assets in your pile is vulnerable and can be stolen by the other players if they show you a matching asset card or wild, which are silver and gold cards from their hand. You can defend your stack by showing the challenger a matching card from your own hand. If they do, they can counter with another matching card of their own. The battle rages back and forth until one player can't respond and bows out. If you win, you keep the set. If the challenger wins, they take the set. Regardless of the wins, all the cards used in the challenge are added to the set, increasing its value and allure to other players. And that's how Matt won. He had some huge stacks that he kept battling for.
Uh-huh.
Every chance he got, he was trying to steal sets. And
that's the way the game plays.
Yes, it is.
It absolutely is.
I'm glad he did that because he showed us exactly how that game played.
Oh, my gosh, that game was hysterical.
So, but yeah, the first player to a million wins. I can't remember how many times it says at the end of the round, scores are tallied and the cards are shuffled and a new round begins. The first player that reaches 1 million wins. I think we only played one round.
No,
maybe.
Did
we play the whole thing?
No, I thought we played the whole thing. The round ends when the card. Yeah, because 565. Maybe we did.
Yeah,
because I think the hall was getting ready to open.
The entire rules and
that could be too.
Well, the person who taught us this game was Justin. He read the rules on it. But it may have been we played this and then we had to get going.
Maybe, because I thought we just played till the deck was out. I thought that was the way. I
don't know,
it
but
was.
No, anyway. You play rounds until the first player reaches $1 million.
Okay.
So we didn't even play a full game.
No, we didn't. I guess not, because I'd
have hated to see. It was probably been 1 million from Matt, and Justin may have had 400 or 500, and then me and you probably would have had like 200. I would have had 230, and you would have had 220.
Yeah. Well, and that's, to be fair, these say 10,000, 20,000, and I only wrote down. I dropped all the extra zeros. So technically, if you want to be truthful, we had 210,000 to 220,000 to 225,000 to 506. One more round, Matt would have won anyway.
Yeah.
So we'd have been hard pressed to come back from that one, I think.
But this was, it's a take that game, but it's another one of those take that games that didn't really feel all that take daddy because that is the entire part of the game. Is you're trying to take all the assets, you're covering your assets and trying to take other people's assets.
Yeah.
To win the game.
It was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did not expect this one to stick around, at least not in our collection. But I kind of liked it.
No, yeah, because we picked this up where did we get this at? We picked this up at Goodwill.
I think it was a Goodwill purchase, yeah.
But now it made it from Goodwill into our collection, and only a few games that we've ever picked up at Goodwill has made it into our main collection.
Yeah.
And the one I'm thinking of is Bizarre.
Yes. Well, that was early. That was before we started the second collection anyway.
True.
But still, not very many do. Probably one of the most recent ones was Guillotine.
Yes. Oh, it does say the 2021 edition contains advanced rules, new cards, and rules for 2 to 3 players. Be warned, it's not a good game for sore losers.
This might be fun just because of all the back and forth to do on the 24. And it plays 6 players. So I think it's just a fun, light filler game.
Yeah.
That's good.
Quick game.
Yes.
But yes, that is Cover Your Assets. If you never played it, like I said,
check it out.
I recommend it.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, one of the other games we played. Now, mind you, by the time we finished Unconscious Minds last night, it was 10:30, almost 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to play something light just to kind of come down off of Unconscious Minds.
A mind-blowing experience.
So Miranda pulls out this game. She goes, ooh, I've been wanting to play this at one of these nights for a while. And she pulls out Magic Mountain. Well, let's just start with the stats. Magic Mountain was published in 2021 by Amigo Games.
Mm-hmm.
Plays 2 to 6 players, 15 minutes, ages 5 and up. Designed by Jens Peter Schilleman and Bernard Weber. Art by Clem Neuter and Annette Nora Cara. Okay. Again, I go back to the fact this was geared for 5-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of a 3D board. It actually reminded me a little bit of the board of 12 Rivers. When she first pulled it out, that's
I was
going to
bring that up. I said, because as soon as I seen that board, it was like, yes, this is the game I was thinking of when I saw the game 12 Rivers.
Okay, see, I don't remember ever looking at the board for this.
Because I told you, I said, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, this reminds me of another game. I can't remember what it is, but it looks very gimmicky in 12 Rivers.
Yes. So in this game, you have 5 different color marbles, your basic 5 colors. You've got, I think, white, yellow, red, purple, and blue. Okay. You've got 6 good witches all lined up at the very top of the board. And you've got 4 bad witches scattered throughout the board. And they've got specific starting spots marked on the board. Okay. The board itself is slightly elevated. You've got one end elevated a little bit more than the bottom. The bottom is right on the table. So the goal, it plays in 6 rounds, provided you can beat round 1.
Providing you can beat round 1.
It took us 3 tries.
Oh, jeez.
Again, 5-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
this was a Kinderspiel.
Was it a kid? I can see that. I can totally see that because we played this for an hour last night. All right, so the way this runs, and I took some videos of it. If you're watching this on YouTube, I will show some videos. You pull a marble out of the bag. The color of the marble denotes the spaces that you're going to be moving the witches to if you hit them with the marble. This board has a series of cutout paths, and you're putting the marble down from one of the 6 spots on the top, one of the 6 pathways, and it will flow down like a normal marble ramp. And it will divert to different areas. If it hits a witch, good or bad, you are moving that witch along the yellow brick road to the next spot of that color, of the color that matches the marble. So if I roll a blue marble and I hit one of the witches, it moves to the next blue spot from where it currently sits on the path. The goal for level 1 is to get 4 of the good witches off without getting all 3 of the bad witches off. You can only have a maximum of 2 bad witches off before you get your 4 off, the 4 good ones off, to win round 1. It took us 3 tries. Just saying. It also took Katie and I probably halfway through the second game to realize there was actually a yellow path and it wasn't just rows.
So what you could really say is that Unconscious Mind blew your guys' mind. You had no minds left. You were just a quivering body of gel trying to play a game.
Oh my God, we were laughing so hard at this game. And we were standing up and cheering. I mean, this is one of those games you had to stand up to see what was happening and to move around and figure out which path you were going to drop the marble into, and if the marble did not go the way you wanted it to, you were no, don't go that way. And the tables around us are like, what are you playing?
We're playing a 5-year-old kid game.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it was fun. I highly recommend this game, even for adults. It's just a good, I kind of want to buy this game. So we had a blast with it. 4 grown adult women. We had a blast with it.
And there's a video of you getting all excited like a 5-year-old. You know, that would be a perfect, I would say go ahead and put it on here for the people watching.
Oh, yeah,
listen
absolutely.
to this on YouTube, though. But that would be a perfect video to have, like, if we had a Patreon page. If you want to see Katie act like a 5-year-old, join the Patreon page. Or if you're already a subscriber, do that. And that's a good question. If we decide to open up a Patreon page, would you guys be willing to support us?
Well, and if so, what kind of extra things do you want to see? Because that's where we keep falling. Is what I don't want it to be a ton of extra work, but at the same time, I want it to be something.
Yep.
But I don't have time for a ton of extra work. Anyway, that's a whole other subject.
Yeah, I said this game was a Kinderspieljahres winner. It went up against Quacks & Co. Quedlinburg's Dash. That was the kids' game of Quacks of Quedlinburg. And then That's Pretty Clever Kids.
Okay.
That it beat those two games out for the award.
Interesting. It was very well produced, I thought. The witches are nice, heavy-duty plastic. The marbles are slightly larger than your standard size marble, just plastic marbles. I thought the whole thing was really well done. And the paths, you wouldn't expect them to take the way they do. You know what I mean? They never failed. They were always going down the wrong path and hitting the wrong witch we didn't want, or hitting nothing at all. It's like, well, that was a waste. So it was a lot of fun. I'd highly recommend it.
Okay, so the other game I want to talk about is a game called Sprocketforge. We've seen this a couple years at Gen Con. It was getting ready to go to Kickstarter, and was like, ooh, we ought to look into backing this one, and we completely forgot about it.
Yep.
It's an engine building game, and you have your player board, which has inserts for 5 sprockets. If you don't can't recall what a sprocket is, think of your bicycle where the pedals are attached. That's called a sprocket. That's what's on your board. So it's kind of like gears, kind of like looking like
they basically
corrosion.
look like gears, yeah.
Kind of like in Corrosion. If you've ever played Corrosion, it's kind of like that. Or
it kind of reminds me of the inner workings of a clock. With the way the gears interlock with themselves.
Or even like Zulkin. Zulkin kind of has the gears things too. But in this game, it is, like I said, it's an engine building. Your engine that you're building is going to give you resources to complete orders or upgrade your engine and different stuff like that. On your turn, you can do one of 3 things. You can produce, which means anything at the bottom of your sprocket that is a resource or whatever, you get to do that part. So if it's resources, you take the resources and you put it in your mana pool. With those, though, you can complete an order. If you have an order on your player board, you can complete that if you have the right stuff. Whatever mana is left over on your sprockets, you have what's called enchantments. And some of the enchantments had empty spaces, so you can store your unused mana in these empty spots on your sprocket. And when that sprocket turned to the area where that mana that you stored is, you get that back then. Any mana you used up when completing orders goes at the top of used exhausted mana, and there's only room for a certain amount of mana, and you don't want to fill that up because that could be one of the ways you can lose the game. You can plan. That means just removing 2 exhausted mana, and then you can take 3 orders from the main board where there's different levels of orders that you can take. Or you can petition, which means you discard a favor card to petition one of the houses, and the house gives you a certain amount of points and then gives you a power of that card. There's 3 different levels of those houses, and depending on how many exhausted mana you have is what cards you could take. So if you only had 4 exhausted mana, you could take any of the 3. If you had a 5th exhausted mana, you could only take the houses that gives you 3 points or 2 points. And then the last one, you can have up to 12 mana exhausted. And it gives you a less of a power, it gives you less of points. And it means you're in trouble with that mana. You need to really get rid of it. Now, after whatever action you took, there is always a follow action for everybody else that they can do. Like I said, so in Produce, when you resolve all actions and production symbols, the followers can gain 1 mana of any type or rotate your gear, which means you just turn it clockwise. There's 5 gears, 5 sprockets on there, and the outside one turns clockwise, which makes the center one turn counterclockwise.
Right. And that was hard to wrap your head around.
That was the whole part of building that engine to see, okay, what can I make come together?
Exactly.
But the thing was you couldn't just fix it for that and that work every time because the order cards were all different.
Yeah.
So you kind of like going, but there are ways that you could disenchant an enchantment, which meant You got any resources that were stored on it, and if the bottom of the resource was at the bottom to be harvested, you could take that one too, and then you got rid of the enchantment, and now that wheel has nothing on it yet until you can enchant it again.
Right.
And a lot of times you can enchant it through one of the order cards, because order cards had points, and they also had different things you got, like resources or enchantments or seals. Seals were in the middle, and they had like 3 lines coming off of it, and when that line would connect to the bottom, you got to use that power as well. During the plan area, when you're removing exhausted mana and taking 3 cards, everybody could draw 1 random merchant card, or remove 1 exhausted mana, or rotate a gear. Petition, they could discard a favor to petition the same house. So if you were to do that action and you petition the first house, the greenhouse, that gives you 4 points, if I had more than 4 exhausted mana, I could not do that action. So in other words, I would just be left with rotating my gears. But yeah, it was really cool of how you could disenchant your sprocket to get another one in there later, and just rearrange things on your gears to basically collect as many points as you can. Okay, so the game end, there was a board on the table that kept track of your renown, and the points you were scoring was actually known as renown. And when somebody hit 30, that triggered the game end, and basically we just went around until everybody had the same amount of turns. So if the first player was the one that hit 30, or at the end of that turn somebody hit 30, everybody else got another turn. But if the last person in line hit 30, game over. No more turns. So I thought it was really cool. I mean, because you had the free actions where you could refresh the market row, you could disenchant a gear on your board and gain all the stuff from it. Yeah. It just gave that.
There was a lot of ways to manipulate. Things.
Now, we've only gotten one play of this, so it'll be interesting to see this play again. You beat me pretty soundly at this game, I thought. Maybe not. I know you beat me.
I did.
Because I just
didn't. It was 39 to 29.
Yeah, okay.
So
you beat me by 10. It was still a fairly low score.
It's 25%.
I think some more plays of this, I'm going to kind of
this one definitely
bit better at engine building. It was hard to build that engine, because usually in an engine building game, you're building it so it can do the same thing over and over and score you a ton of points.
You can't do that.
This one, you're trying to build it so you can get these orders fulfilled. That's going to give you a lot of the points.
When I was building, I tried to make sure that the sprockets lined up. I would have enough there that I could potentially fill an order.
Right. That's
every time they lined up. Now, that being said, they didn't line up. You know, there was what, 8 spots on a sprocket?
Yeah.
So 8 or maybe more.
Some of the enchantments had something in each area of it. Some, there was maybe only 3 places on the entire enchantment that would give you something.
That would produce.
But it gave you more storage.
It gave you more storage. And a lot of mine produced, but I had no storage.
Right.
So, I really enjoyed this. Yes. I was very surprised how much I enjoyed this.
Now,
well, I'm not surprised. I shouldn't say that.
I mean, it was what, $70?
Something like I could tell you.
For the base game, the components for this game was pretty good.
Oh,
I mean, it's plastic sprockets and everything, but you could pay another $70 and get metal ones, and you only get one type.
Well, you got a whole set.
Silver.
The whole set was
$70.
Yes, the whole set.
And they had upgrade components.
Yes.
The upgrade
components looked almost like the rewood stuff.
Yes.
Now, what comes with the game is wood components.
Right.
So it's
right. So, but I don't know if the game. I'm trying to talk myself out of kind of pushing the.
Yeah, we paid $70 for it.
Because the gears, the upgraded gears itself is another $70.
They look fantastic.
They do. They make the game look awesome.
Oh my gosh.
If this game with the upgraded components is sitting on a table someplace, some people would stop and was like, what in the world is this game?
Yeah. The plastic gears, they're heavy duty plastic gears. They're not they're not cheapy plastic.
And they're gray, so they kind of look metal.
They're fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't find anything wrong with them. Okay. We know somebody who did get the metal gears.
Yes. Maybe we'll have to play with them with the metal gears.
If it makes it worth it.
Yeah, because it's another $70 for those, and then another, I think, like $40 for the upgraded components.
Yeah. Which I don't think I need the upgraded components. The wood components it comes with are fine.
Yeah.
It's not like they're cubes.
Mm-hmm.
They're the wood cut out, colored.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't find any problem with the resources. The resources I think are fine. I
Nope.
don't need to spend another $40 for that.
Right.
The Metal Gears are still nagging at both of us.
Mm-hmm. I keep trying to talk myself out of it and not push the matter.
Yeah.
It's like, do I really need $70 worth of
Maybe
of
next year's
upgraded
Gen Con, if
components?
they're there. We'll see.
Yep.
I
Okay,
don't know.
so the makers of Sprocketforge, that I never read. So this is designed by,
you get after me.
but I had not finished talking about the game yet.
Okay.
This is designed by Ananda Gun. Oh, I'm going to butcher this name so bad. Ananda Gunantani?
Gunarate? I don't know.
It's a hard one. Artist by Tyler Edlin, and published by Sophisticated Cerberus Games LLC. It's a 1 to 5 player game. This has no votes on BGG. It has a 7.8 right now, but it has no votes for, I guess, the best gameplay of how many players it plays it best. It's a 60 to 90 minute game, ages 14 and up. I liked it, and I'm really looking forward to digging into this a little bit deeper and learning a little bit more about this game, because we never used the whole clearing the cards. I think I used it maybe once, or disenchanting your sprockets, disenchanting the enchantments.
I feel like
on your
that's a
sprockets,
very powerful action, and neither of us ever did it. So
no, so it'd be interesting. Play this some more, and who knows? Maybe one day we'll actually make a video for it. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yep. So that was the games we've been playing. So we're going to go into our first look.
Okay.
We are going to be talking about both versions of Spirit of the Wild.
Yes. Now,
the original and the Awakening.
Right. Now, if you've listened to us for any amount of time, we've always doted on Spirits of the Wild. It is a game I picked up back in 2018 out in California at a Target. Fluke thing. I was just glancing at games while my brother was looking for something else for his wife. And we were out visiting my mom. And here's a 2-player game. The cover looked really neat, all hues of blue with a wolf on the cover, and just looked really neat. So I grabbed it. 2 players, whatever, $20, sure. And it turned out to be one of our favorite 2-player games.
Mm-hmm.
We've always said, I wish they would reproduce it or republish it.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was Mattel, it just has never happened. It'd been out of print since that first print run, I think. We've always said it needed an expansion, more animals, more cards. Well, somebody finally got through to Mattel because it's been done. We thought it was only happening in Europe. That's what I had read. And then lo and behold, there it is at Gen Con in all its glory. So we now have a copy. Matter of fact, we have 2 copies because I was going to surprise Greg, and I ordered a copy from Mattel Creations, I think it was, the Mattel Creations website.
Yep.
And it came in like 4 days after Gen Con. So now we have 2 copies.
And then we seen it at Gen Con because they had a huge display. I mean,
gosh.
If you've ever played the game, there's a coyote. Well, there's a coyote in the new version of it.
The coyote's what, 2 foot tall?
It was probably more like 3 feet tall. It came up to about my waist.
Did it really? Okay.
So, 2.5 feet tall.
It was a good sized coyote. Okay, so Spirits of the Wild. Base game versus new game. The new one was a reimagined version of it, or reskinned. I don't want to say reskinned. It's not really a reskin. They just reimagined it and deluxeified. I don't even want to say deluxeified. All the pieces are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Really. They just... It's almost like they just took it and put expansions into it and just re-released it.
And recolored it.
Recolored it a little bit, yes. So the original base game, and let me actually go through just some basic stats real fast. Spirits of the Wild, as I had indicated, was released in 2018 by Mattel. Plays 2 players, 30 minutes, ages 10 and up. Designed by Nick Hayes, art by Sid Wheeler. Yeah, Sid Wheeler. In the original version of this game, each player has a board with 5 spirit animals on it: an owl, a rabbit, beaver, salmon, and turtle. There is a bowl in the middle of the table that stones are put into. On your turn, you are playing one of 6 cards. And all these cards are laid out in front of you. Everybody can see which ones you've played, which ones you still have available to you. The cards do various things, like take a couple stones from the bowl, take add 2 stones to the bowl and take 1 out of the bowl. You're pulling these stones from a bag. The stones are a number of different colors. I want to say there's like 7 different colors maybe, and then there's clear stones. There's translucent stones. Those are the game end trigger, essentially. So you're playing a card, doing what it says and flipping it over. 2 of the cards, the back of them form a solid picture of the coyote. When you form the coyote, you move the coyote to your opponent's board. And that blocks that spirit animal. It can no longer be played on until the coyote moves. At one point, because you only have, I think, 7 cards total. I think it's 6 or 7. Maybe it's 6.
6.
One of the cards basically states that you flip over all your cards, so you get them all back, and you activate one of the spirit powers. Yeah, one of the spirit cards that sit next.
There's a power on it. Yeah.
In the original game, there's only 6 spirit cards.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 stacks of them, 3 cards in each stack. You choose which one you're going to use. You put that one to the bottom of its relative stack.
Yeah.
Those spirit powers may be put all the stones back in the bag and draw out the same number and then take 1. There's all sorts of different things on here that allow the original powers. So the goal in this game is to fill stones onto the spirit animals. The spirit animals each have spots for so many different stones. For instance, the owl has 6 spots for stones, and they're paired up. Mm-hmm. So the owl wants 3 different sets of colored stones. 2 blues, 2 reds, 2 whites, whatever. It wants 3 different sets. And if you do that, you get 3 points per set that you give it. The rabbit wants 3 completely different colors. Doesn't matter what 3 colors, just 3 different colors. The beaver wants 3 of the same color and then 2 of a different color. So kind of like a full house.
Mm-hmm.
The salmon wants 6 different colors. You get points for the salmon based on how many different colors you have, but you can't have any doubles.
Yes.
The turtle wants 5 of the same color. That's actually one of the hardest to do, I think.
Yes, it is.
To get that many of the same color.
Because there's only a certain amount of numbers of each color.
Right. Each of the animals has 1 stone spot set off to the side on the opposite side of its description. That's where the spirit stone goes. The spirit stone is that translucent stone I talked about. The translucent stone essentially locks in that animal. You can no longer add more stones to it. It can no longer be affected by the coyote because it's done, but it doubles the score of what you would score on that animal. So you want that spirit stone on there. Here's the hitch, though. The game ends when the 5th stone comes out of the bag. Between the 2 players, there's room for 10 stones on the board. There's 8 of those stones in the bag. But as soon as the 5th one comes out of the bag, game ends immediately. Nobody gets a turn.
Yep.
That's it. Turn's over. Or game is over, I should say. I love this game. I love it in its base form.
Mm-hmm.
It is just, there's so much tension in when is that stone coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There are cards that will let you, some of those spirit cards will let you take those stones and put them back in the bag so you can get rid of it and maybe not pull them back out as so fast. I think our last game we played, literally 2 stones got pulled in the last turn. That was it. We went from 3 to 5, just like that. So you just never know when that 5th stone is coming out of that bag. It's always just been such a great 2-player game with a good tension. And the only take that in here is
the coyote.
You took my color I wanted.
Yeah.
Or you just blocked my, but it's easy enough to get it moved again.
Yes.
There's multiple ways to move it.
Mm-hmm.
So, fantastic game. All right, so the new one, Spirits of the Wild Awakening, only has 18 ratings. It doesn't even have a rating on BGG yet. This one was published in 2025 by Mattel again.
Mm-hmm.
Still designed by Nick Hayes. Art by Rachel Quinlan on this one, though. So the art is slightly different. Still plays 2 players, 20 to 30 minutes, 10 and up. We've always said this game could use more spirit animals. More animals, It could use more spirit cards.
Yep.
And that is exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's...
And I also said that they needed to... They could add the animals, and then you can customize what
you
animals
can make it more modular. And
That's
they
what
did.
This is doing.
Exactly.
It's like they heard me.
Right?
It's funny, though, that they already had them printed off, boxed up, and shipped here before I even said that. But hey... If I could take credit, I would.
Right. So with this one, instead of the one static board that every player gets, you actually have a choice of like 12 different
15.
animals. Is it 15 different
15.
animals? Okay. And they had an expansion there at Gen Con that gave you 2 more.
Yes.
2 snakes. And it was a copperhead and something else. So you've got multiples to choose from. The only rule is whatever you choose, all players have to use the same ones.
Yes.
That's the only rule, is everybody has to be on the same playing field. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. Both players have to be on the same playing field. There's also now 18 spirit cards, not just 6.
Mm-hmm. But you still
You're
only play
playing
with
with
amount.
6. Right. You are choosing 6 to play with. You shuffle those up, divide them into 2 stacks, just like you did the original game. But now there's just more variety. You no longer have just those same 6 are still there. You just have an additional 12. Some of these new animals, you still have the salmon, the rabbit, the beaver, the owl, and the turtle. You also now have a raven and a moose in the corridor.
That's
the
a condor.
The corridor. Chimney Christmas.
Wow.
The condor, the otter, the moth, ants, bullfrog.
Jackrabbit.
Jackrabbit. Thank you. I couldn't read that there. The pack rat.
And the Gila monster.
That is a pack rat.
Yep.
And a Gila monster. And then, like I said,
that is so cool.
Yes. All of these still have the spirit stone spot. All of them have different things that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 15 different animals that want different things.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you're choosing 5 of them and then play like you would otherwise. 5th stone still ends the game.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of the action cards, you now have 6. They're just tiles. They're not cards. But otherwise, it's still the same game. It still plays exactly the same. Yeah. And I love that. I just love the variety.
I did like talking to the designer, because we got to talk to the designer at Gen Con.
Super humble guy also.
Because when I first seen this, I made fun. I was like, really, did they have to go with those colors? Those are awful colors of this game. The original box looked so cool. But when he explained what it is, it's dusk and dawn.
Yeah.
So the purple is the dusk and the orangish yellow is the dawn. I was like, oh, that makes sense, because the original game was at night.
Right.
So that makes total sense now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But that these tiles now all have little icons on them in the corner, which means this tile will match up good with this tile.
Yes.
And even the spirit power cards have the same thing. So you can kind of match up things, or you can just randomly put them out. But it shows you that these cards work together.
These animals work well together.
And these spirit powers work well with these tiles as well. So I think that's really cool.
So you can get used to the game with some sort of natural flow. And then once you've played all of them, you can just choose your favorites.
Yeah.
You know, and do whatever you want.
And like I said, ants is another, you could put anything up there, but it has the wolf icon underneath it. So if you place a stone in an area, because you got to start it from left to right. Yeah. And when you get to a spot that has a wolf head on or a coyote head on it, you get to move the coyote.
Yep.
There's another one that allows you to get something. What was it? It was something when you move the coyote, something else would happen on that one.
You pulled a free stone out of the bag.
That's right. Yeah.
Again, it's another way for that 5th stone to come out.
And was that
easily.
the pack rat? Yeah, that was the pack rat. Every time you moved the coyote, you could put another stone in the pack rat, and the pack rat gave you points depending on how many stones you had in his little.
And the spirit stone was like 3 extra points.
Yes.
But it got you 1 step closer to the end of the game.
Yeah. And the pack rat, too. All the other ones have little circle cutouts for 1 stone to go in the pack rat. It's like half the board is gone. Yeah. It's just this whole area where you just start putting them in this one big area.
Shoving things into that hole. Yep.
So yeah, the new version of this game did exactly what we said it needed to do.
Absolutely.
And maybe since it's sold out at Gen Con by Sunday, it was all gone.
Yeah.
That maybe Mattel realized, wait a minute, we have a printing press for money now.
Yeah.
We could sell this, see how long they can run on this. Because like I said, so many people were selling the original game before this was released for like $70 to $80.
I'd seen it for that
how
price.
much?
We bought our copies for 10 each.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase that. I've bought 3 copies now. 2 of them were for $10 each. 1 was the full price at Target. It was for $20. But I don't think those people realized what they had.
Right.
Because you could easily have sold this for double that.
So what you're saying, you took advantage of them?
Well, maybe, but that's what it was. That's what they asked for. That's what I gave them.
But anyway, the original copy was running $70-$80 online in the secondary market because it was no longer in print.
And it was highly sought after.
Yes, so I think Mattel finally realized,
I hope so.
We need to reprint this game and bring out some stuff. And like I said, maybe more than just me that's been saying, hey, they could add more things to this game.
Yeah. Well, apparently the designer thought so too, because,
So they read, so this is out. So this is,
It is available at MattelCreations.com.
Yes.
You can order copies there if you don't see them at a convention.
Yeah, because I don't think it's been released to the public yet.
I don't know if it'll get released to the stores or not. I hope so. Mattel does. So why wouldn't they?
This is, like I said, this is a money machine for them right now because people have been dying to get their hands on this game.
It's such a good game. But worst case scenario, you can't find it in the stores. Check out MattelCreations.com. That's where I found it when I tried ordering it to surprise Greg with. Yeah.
Now we have 2 copies of it. It goes right along with the 3 copies of the original version we have of this.
No, 1 copy.
That's
we have
right.
2 copies. One in our collection, 1 in the travel collection.
And then
the other one we gave to Justin and Jackie because they love it.
Yeah.
And Justin bought a copy of the new one.
Yeah, and Jackie was excited that they bought that too. So so that is Spirits of the Wild and Spirits of the Wild Awakening.
Yes.
Both games we pretty much say go by.
Absolutely.
We recommend it.
Yes. If you like 2-player games, this is a fantastic game.
So this is going to do it for episode 94. If you like this episode or any of our content and haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so by going to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. While you're there, give us a rating and comments. This is how others find the show. But in the meantime, if you want to follow us on social media just to keep up and see what we're doing, just follow the links in the show notes. There you'll find links to Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Discord, Blue Sky, and our merch shop. Or you can contact us directly at maplesociety@mail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next one. So this is going to do it for the end of episode 93.
4.
Okay. I'm going to redo that.